Guys, Rob from Expedition Team Overland. We're here on how I'm going to load up my vehicle for any expedition or trip that I'm doing. Every trip's a little bit different, a little unique, so plus or minus a couple things, but for the most part, this is how I load up. First thing that I'm going to have to do for my Jeep is I have to install the HiLift carrier, the AEV HiLift carrier on the tailgate of my Jeep. Then I have to install a cargo base plate that I have that screws into the cargo tie down points, and then it has my fridge slide on it. Keeps the fridge nice and secure, and it is able to roll out, gives me better access to the fridge. Then I have to, on the back seat, because I have leather seats, I want to protect those. I have canvas back seat covers. Those just go over the seat covers and keeps it a little secure. So that's what I have to do to get the Jeep prepped, and then I load up. And we'll go through step by step on how I load up. Alright guys, so here we are on the back of the Jeep at the AEV tire carrier, and we're going to install the Pool Pal HiLift mount. I don't have a Pool Pal yet, so I'm just going to be using I just attached my HiLift to it. And very easy process. It's 2 U-bolts, 4 bolts, and you just tighten it down. It's a very easy process. The reason why I take this off is being in Northeast Ohio, salt and all that eats away at this, and I just want to keep the metal finish for a longer time, and I don't keep my HiLift on all the time. So real simple install. We're going to go ahead and do that now. Alright, so here there's a little indent in the fuel caddy, and that's kind of where the Pool Pal goes. So you come around, bring the U-bolt around the top, around the top bar. Try to get it as even as you can. And just start these bolts. What you're going to want to do is try to get the bolts as even as possible and torque them down together, one at a time, but slowly, but try to keep it as evenly as possible. And same thing with the bottom one. Just coming around from the back. Try to get it as level as possible. And slow. Let's get these. It's nice and secure, and that's all you have to do to install it. Now to do the HiLift, you open that up. One thing you have to do per the AEV instructions is take off the HiLift base, and you're going to have to put on the AEV base. Has a little lip. Walk it in there. Get in there. And then there's a screw that goes in there. It's in my garage. You gotta go get that. You just screw it in, and that's how you put your HiLift on. Alright, so now we're here in the cargo area. On either side, there's actually 6, but we're gonna use 4 of them. These cargo tie-down locations that are from Jeep. There's 3 on each side. We're gonna take the 2 in the middle and the back out, and then I'm gonna replace them with just regular 10mm long bolts. I had to use extra large washers just because when I was I custom made the platform. Finding the exact location of the hole was a little bit harder, so I kind of had to drill a little bit bigger hole. So that's why I have this very large washer. So it's these are T30. These are nut certs. I've had a lot of issues with one of these before. I had to replace it twice, and I'm on my 3rd one already. Not really sure why, but just be nice and slow when you remove these, and especially when you torque them down. You just don't want to break the nut cert. Alright, so now here is the custom plate I made. It's using a 1/2 inch plywood that I took over my local Line-X store, and they Line-X'd it. After I tried to get it as custom as I could, getting the turns and all that really didn't turn out that well. And then these are you kind of see the 4 holes. 2 of them are kind of covered with the ARB slide. So these holes have to get lined up with the 4 holes, and then I just run the screws in. I am the king of cross-threading, so I take it nice and slow, make sure I get a bunch of threads And that's it. So now the fridge slide is in. Next I just put the fridge in. One of the nice great things that's part of this ARB slide and why I went with it, first of all, because it matches the fridge, so it's an exact fit. But it has a nice slide, nice ball bearings, and it all fits out. So what I'll do first is I pull the slide out. Now over here is the ARB connector wiring harness. It's a proprietary connection that they have in there. This is hardwired directly to the battery. Supposedly there's a voltage regulator in the fridge, so when the battery voltage hits a predetermined threshold, the fridge will automatically shut off so you have power to start the vehicle. Back of the fridge, they have two different power outlets. One is for when you're in your home, and then one's for the fridge. The fridge also comes with a regular cigarette lighter that you can use. I'll just unscrew that, put that back in the bag along with this. I always carry this stuff with me in case I end up in a hotel or at someone's house or something. I always have it with me. So that plugs in the 12-24 volt DC. Then I'll be able to see there is a cutout on the bottom. That is where the cutout goes in on the outlet in the Jeep. Wiggle it in, and then there's threads on their cord, and it threads into their mount, so it's nice and secure and it won't come out. Now there's two tie downs, one for the front and back. They attach to the handles, so I'll be doing that to each of them. Fridge just sits nice and snug in there. Tighten it down, and the fridge is good to go. Alright, so now we're going to be loading up the cargo area. The way I did it is I'm going to put my heaviest stuff in the back, which is my tools. I'll have another video going through what's in all these boxes, but this is all the tools I have that I would need. Went through, found all the sockets that are common, torque bars, little handheld hammers, duct tape, a little bit of electrical stuff in here. I'll have a much thorough description coming up. So that's the first one. Is that front runner cases are really nice, keeps everything nice and secure. They're not officially waterproof, but they get the job done. This next one, I leave it on top. First of all, because the tools are very heavy, but I leave this on top. This is kind of like I call it my roadside assistance. It's if I'm stuck on the side of the road, I got my jumper cables in there. I have a high visibility vest and some other stuff that I might need on the side of the road. Then in my ARB recovery gear, I have tow straps, tree saver, my winch gear, gloves, and shackles. So in the event of an emergency, these two boxes are what you're going to be grabbing first. And my last two things that go in, part of my JK innovative JK products, is their air up system. It's just for the tires. Put that on the side. And then my Blue Ridge Overland gear tool bag. This has hoses. On the back I have the ARB tire seal kit in case I need to seal a tire. And all my air tools are in here. That just lays there. Now if I'm going to be going on a very like out to Moab, a more rock crawling trip, I do have a safari strap that goes over the top of this. Doesn't impede from getting the fridge out, doesn't impede getting stuff out, but in the event of a rollover, the most cause of injury or death is caused from stuff inside the vehicle flying around. So that safari strap will keep everything, all this heavy gear, secure down here. Alright, so now the last part of loading up is where I'm going to be putting all my camping gear and that type of stuff. So first thing that fits in really perfect for the Jeep is my Gazelle T3 tent. Fits perfectly. I mean, I bet they designed it just for the Jeep JK because it fits perfectly on the back seats. If you're carrying more than two people, like TJ's going to have one of his kids in the back seat, you're going to be running. You're going to have to configure your Jeep different ways. When my daughter gets older, I'm going to be running a different configuration then. So after that, it's going to go my cot, and then my camp table. Then on the seat, this is all my non-perishable food. My stove, I just put this on the back, sitting upright. Oh, it's pretty durable in the case from Blue Ridge Overland gear, but I want to try to keep it secure. So I put it standing upright, and then in front of it, I will put this front runner is all of my kitchen utensils, knives, soap, sponges, some spices. So that just sits there in the front. Keeps it a little bit secure. And the last stuff is just all the random stuff you have left, or my sleeping bag, my chair, and then the front seat, because I'm running just by myself, I'll put my camera gear up there so it's easily accessible. And that is how I load up my Jeep for any trip.